Reliance surges close to 3% as it initiates the process to demerge its financial services business. Brokerage Nomura issues a buy rating with a target price of 2,850. On the share, expects strong growth roadmap in financial sector in the coming AGM.
Defense stocks are on the offense with a whole host of order wins. BEL signs contracts worth close to around 5,500 crore rupees. Bharat Dynamics receives a missile system and helicopter orders worth around 8,500 crore rupees, while Garden Reach will build 4 offshore patrol vessels for around 3,600 crore rupees. All the 3 stocks firing in trade.
Lupin shares slip over 2% after the American regulatory body, the FDA, issues a Form 483 or observations with 10 observations for the company's Pithampur Unit 2 manufacturing facility. Remember, the plant was also issued a warning letter in November 2017.
SBI Card gains after Jefferies initiates coverage with a buy rating with a target price of around 900 rupees a share on the back of its strong franchise in credit cards. Hello and welcome to Chartbusters. I'm Nigel D'Souza and joining me today is Ekta Batra. Well, Ekta, it's a Good Friday. A Good Friday session is what you're seeing. Maybe a bit of a, truncated week health, right? A rest. The Bulls have come back. They are firing. But we're up 170 points on the Nifty. The Nifty Bank up close to around 500 points. I think the Bulls will say, all they wished for has come through.
Absolutely, Nigel. But do remember, it's the first day of a news series and it is a holiday shortened week. So maybe there is less amount of participation as compared to what we generally see for our markets as well. And remember, we have 2 holidays next week as well. So maybe people are taking advantage of all of that. But nonetheless, the Bank Nifty is up around 1.2%. So let's not keep our eye away from that particular index because the financials are definitely doing well in lieu of all of the global volatility that we've seen. Let's welcome Aditya Agarwal for a technical check on the markets. Aditya, hi, welcome to the show. It's good going for the markets. The Nifty is building on 17,000. What's your call?
Hi, Ekta. Morning to Nigel as well. So, Ekta, just to give you a brief, at the start of the month, everybody was talking about the fact that Nifty hasn't corrected 4 months in a row. For the longest period of time. We had already corrected 3 months in a row, and this month, just a couple of days back, Nifty was down 2.5%. Fast forward to today, and Nifty is just down 0.4% month to date. So you never know, market can have further legs on the upside, and today is the last day of the month. So if just Nifty pulls back another 0.2, 0.3% from here, month to date, Nifty will close in the positive, and Nifty will maintain its track record of not closing 4 months consecutive in the red. Having said that, yes, there is a bit of a short covering which was due in the markets. I spoke of it last time as well. And I believe above 17,200, which was the immediate hurdle if Nifty sustains above that, 17,400 is the next level that I'm eyeing on the index. And as you pointed out, financials is the one which is leading the charge. And I believe cement, finance, all these sectors are due for another leg of up move, at least 2 to 3% on the upside. Volatility will be there. I don't rule that out. But having said that, 17,400 is what I'm eyeing on the upside with a good strong support at 17,200 on the downside of the Nifty. And 40,000 on the Bank Nifty is acting as a good strong support. I believe Bank Nifty too can test 40,600, 700 on the upside.
Okay, all right. So we've got those levels then for the Nifty Bank, 40,000 to 40,600. Those are the 2 markers. On the Nifty, you have it at around 17,200 to around 17,400. All right, Aditya, you mentioned a couple of sectors where you're seeing some traction play out there, but give us a couple of stock-specific ideas with some levels as well that we can track.
Oh, yes, Nigel. So I spoke about cement. Cement stocks have been doing phenomenally well. Shree Cement is something which is popping on the chart, clearly broken out from the consolidation. Volumes are good. Indicators are too suggesting the up move should continue here. So on the upside, stock can test levels 127,000 with a good strong support at 25,900. Would recommend traders to go long on Shree Cement at current levels. Look for a target 27,000. The second stock is Manappuram Finance. After a decent correction, stock went into a lull phase and a consolidation as well. Now it's broken up from that consolidation. So one can go ahead, buy at current levels, look for a target of 125, 130 on the upside with a good strong support, keep stop loss at 118 on the downside.
Okay, all right, Aditya, we're going to let you go on that note. Thanks very much for joining in and taking us through all of your strategies on the technicals. Let's shift focus now to our special segment where we will get you a few ideas for profit from Moneycontrol Pro. Lekha Badlani of Moneycontrol.com joins in now to talk about a stock that she's tracking very closely today. Lekha.
Yes, thanks. So we like Max Healthcare for its superior operational and financial performance versus its other large cap peers. The occupancy level remains industry leading at Max Hospitals, which reflects the strength of the company's brand. Max's RPOB, that is average revenue per occupied bed, has also consistently remained higher than its peers, which is primarily attributable to its premium clinical mix. Also, its dominance in the key metro cities of Delhi, NCR and Mumbai, where the healthcare demand-supply gap is high, also supports the above-average RPOB. Max is also working towards optimizing its payer mix and targets to bring the institutional business down to 15% in the next 2 years from the current 29%. Now, the management estimates that achieving this could potentially lead to an incremental 300 to 400 basis point rise in the EBITDA margin. Now, talking about its expansion plans, Max aims to add around 2,600 beds with a capex of about 3,500 crore over a period of 5 years, leaving huge scope for operating leverage to come into play, which in turn should further strengthen margins. Now, despite all the capex related outflow, its net cash position stood at 370 crore at December 22, thus giving us confidence in the company's balance sheet. Now, the company is also focusing on its asset-light SBUs and is eyeing for its Max Home and Max Labs to be the next growth drivers. Now, the stock is currently trading at an EV/EBITDA of 24 times its FY24 estimates. We believe that investors with a long-term view can accumulate the stock on market dips.
Okay, got that, Lekha. Thanks so much for stopping by and filling us in with all of those details. By the way, keep an eye on a few of these stocks that in the last few days had fallen on rather low volumes. HLE Glasgow, the stock is less than half of what it was at its peak. But today that one's up close to around 12% as we speak. So let's get that one up for you on the screen. Eveready as well, there was a lot of hope that there could be a turnaround with the new promoter coming in. But that stock as well see a sharp correction from around 400 all the way to around 280. So that's seeing a bit of a pop-up in trade. Piramal Pharma, the other one that's been a value trap actually. The street was hoping it could either be a unlock value or it could be a trap. But from the time it's listed, the stock is close to around a third of what it was. So some of these stocks that have got beaten down, they are popping up in trade today. For the time being, we'll slip into a short break. You come back. We'll continue our focus on markets and stock-specific action.
Welcome back. Well, steady for the market, so no problems coming in. The Nifty is holding at around 70,244. We have the mid-cap index, which is up around 277 odd points. Good advanced decline ratio, which has continued from Wednesday's trading session, where it didn't end on the positive side. So that seems to be continuing today. Around 5 to 6 stocks advancing on the National Stock Exchange for 1 stock declining. So positive news coming in there. But let's focus on specific stocks then. Reliance is one of the top gainers on the Nifty today, as it has initiated the process to demerge its financial services business. Sonia is here to tell us more about this development. Sonia.
Well, thanks a lot for that. It is a big development for Reliance Industries. Remember, last year, the company had decided to demerge its financial services business, and now it has finally initiated that process. The board will be meeting with stakeholders, shareholders on the 2nd of May to decide more about the demerger plans. Now, after the demerger, the shares of Jio Financial Services, which the company will be renamed, will be listed on NSE and BSE, and shareholders will get 1 share in the new demerged entity for every share of Reliance Industries that you currently hold. Now, the financial services business is a large business, has been doing pretty well. It has revenues in excess of 1,500 crores, and the asset base combined is about 28,000 odd crores. A lot of brokerages last year had written on the demerger and how it would impact stakeholders. MK wrote a note where they said that the demerger sets the stage for monetization of its verticals, which is a positive trigger. Just to tell you a little bit about what the financial services business has. It has investments across Reliance Industrial Investments, Reliance Payment Solutions, Jio Payments Bank, Reliance Retail Finance, Jio Information Aggregator Services, which are some businesses that they want to unlock in terms of value for shareholders. One of the other important parts is that the contingent liabilities will not be transferred. So after the scheme becomes effective, there will be no litigation on contingent liabilities that will be transferred to RSIL as part of the Reliance of the financial services business. Just to put it into context, the total contingent liabilities currently stand at about 1900 crores, but they will not be transferred to the demerged entity. Also, the company has put in place a lot of key personnel to grow this financial services business. KV Kamath was appointed as the independent and non-executive chairman. Hitesh Sethia has been appointed as CEO and MD of the entity. Remember, Hitesh Sethia is currently the head of Europe of McLaren Strategic Ventures, and he has experience of over 20 years. So most brokerages believe that this is a big plus because Reliance is finally monetizing its assets. It will be listed on BSE and NSE eventually, and this is a space which is growing quite a bit. So hence the stock is up in the green, up 3%.
Okay, all right. Sonia, thanks a lot for that. Well, let's get in. Abhishek, he's joining to tell us about SBI Cards. You have a Jefferies note that came out earlier today. Abhishek, tell us more about that.
Well, Jefferies has initiated coverage on SBI Cards. They have given it a buy rating and a target price of 900 per share. They say that the strong franchisee in credit card is seen in SBI Cards. So they estimate 23% cumulative annual growth rate in terms of card spends over FY23 to 26 by leveraging SBI's customer base and the wide co-branded partnership that SBI Card has. So net interest margin should bottom out in H1 FY24 and it will improve over FY24 to 26 as revolver rate or those loans which are overdue for more than 45 days that slowly inches up and the rates stabilize. So healthy profit growth and 23% plus ROE, that is return on equity, is seen over FY24 to 26. The recent underperformance versus Nifty is likely factoring in the fact that net interest margin has been on a declining trend. So the key risk, they say, is that there is threat in terms of new entrants like Bajaj Finance and higher spend share gained by UPI. However, the rise in revolver risk, that is loans which are overdue of more than 45 days, that percentage rising and the peaking out of rates are the key triggers why they believe SBI Card should be seen by investors. Back to you.
Okay, all right, Abhishek, thanks very much for that. So that's a SBI Card. That stock is up around 1.5%. We need to take a short break, but up next we'll be joined by the management of NBCC. Pawan Kumar Gupta, who is the chairman and managing director of the company, will be discussing recent order wins. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Well, the markets are holding with a gain of around 150 points. The problem pocket, I think, is at higher levels. We're seeing some bit of supply that's coming in there. So you have HUL, that's a larger weight on the index. That's moved a little bit lower. Bajaj Finance as well has seen a bit of a downtick. And HDFC, that's the other heavyweight in there. That's moved a little bit lower as we speak. But as promised, let's get our first guest on the show. NBCC, well, they won a number of orders in the last month while also monetizing part of its real estate portfolio. Mr. Pawan Kumar Gupta, the chairman and MD of the company, joins us on the show. Hi, Mr. Gupta. Thanks so much for speaking to us here at CNBC-TV18. Well, before we get to your order wins as well as your asset monetization, I wanted an update on your Amrapali project. How many of those houses have been handed over? How many of them are ready? And also, what is the target for FY24?
Regarding Amrapali, things are looking out very, very positive. Here I would like to tell you about one judgment given by Honorable Supreme Court day before yesterday only, in which they have directed NBCC to submit the plans for construction of houses on the vacant FAR. Within these FAR is of the area of about 17 lakh square meter in 7 different projects. And they have asked NBCC to prepare the plan and submit to Noida Authority within 15 days. And Noida Authority has also been directed to approve these plans in another 15 days. So after that, the Honorable Court will give the final decision about this. And NBCC is will have a business of around 7,000 to 8,000 crore for construction of these houses, and the total sale value of these houses will be around maybe in the range of 15,000 crore plus.
What about Amrapali, sir?
This is about Amrapali only.
Okay, and number of flats, sir. Number of flats, last time you had
This is the additional to what has been going on now. Now I will come to what is going on. We got the order for construction of for finishing 46,000 houses in 24 number of projects. We started the work in all 24 projects. 2 projects were completed and handed over to home buyers completely. And work is going on in all balance projects. 3,000 houses have been handed over to home buyers, new houses, and 8,000 houses have been completed total. So balance 5,000 houses are in the process of handing over to the home buyers. This is the position of
All right. Your target was by end of 2024, you expect the project to probably have 46,000 houses that you're going to be signing or completion. Is that target still intact?
Yes, target is still intact. We have already done 50% of the work. Total cost of the project is around 8,000 crore. 4,000 crore worth of work has already been completed, and balance 4,000 worth of work will be completed by the end of financial year, by the end of 24 calendar year. 24.
You said there's an additional potential of revenue coming in from the project. You've indicated that maybe in 2024 you'd probably accrue 2,700 to 2,800 crores from the Amrapali project. Now with this additional revenue potential, what is the revenue accretion that we could work with in terms of a peak estimate from the project, and by when?
In the year, these new projects can start in another period of 4 months after the planning and tendering process is done. In the financial year 23-24, we can have the about 1,500 crores from these revenue from these new projects. And in next year, it can be around 2,000 to 2,500 crores. That can be additional to what has been planned earlier.
Okay, all right. Mr. Gupta, I also wanted to ask you about your monetization plans. I think you had a big pipeline. You were talking about, I think, 20,000 crores odd. But the last updated number that I have is around 5,000 crores. So what is your asset monetization plans? Could you give us an update? How much have you done and how much are you likely to do in FY24?
In our landmark project of World Trade Center, where the market value is around 12,000 crore, we have already sold more than 50% of the project, and balance 50% of the project will be sold because the project is nearing completion. So in 23-24, we'll be able to sell the balance 50% of the project. We have got many queries already. And we have another project in Sarojini Nagar, downtown Sarojini Nagar. Market value of that project is 1,300 crore, and we have put up that project for bulk sale. In fact, the advertisement is already out in the newspapers and on the website. So these projects are likely to be sold in financial year 23-24.
Okay. So then that would be, sir, 6,000 crores from your World Trade Center project, because 6,000 has already been accounted for, plus this other project, that is a Sarojini Nagar. So around 7,500 crores more.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Can you tell us about this latest project that you've won worth around 146 odd crores in West Bengal? Can you give us a sense in terms of when you would start work on it, execution of the project, and what kind of margins will you accrue?
No, we have already started preparation of plans this project, and the execution will start in another 3 months after the approval of design, drawing and tendering. 3.5 months we'll be able to put the project in by construction to start.
All right, sir. It is also the end of the fiscal. So if we could just get a housekeeping check in terms of where you're ending your order book, how much are you executing from that order book?
We have an order book of around 48,000 crore as of now. Already the tenders worth rupees 4,100 have been opened. They have been floated, and they are in different stages of opening. And we are will be floating another 3,000 crore worth of tenders during the month of April. So now all the problems with our 7GA PRA project are already over. We have got necessary approvals. So we're taking up with the monetization of the World Trade Center and downtown. The 7 GPRA project will go with high speed. And with more orders flowing in, a few big orders are in pipeline. Kerala Housing Board is giving order for redevelopment of 3 of their big size plots in the state of Kerala. So that will bring the price of around 2,000 crore. We have already signed an MOU with the Zambia for construction of their social housing projects. Hopefully, in 23-24, we should be able to take that also forward.
Got it. All right. Final question then, Mr. Gupta, before we let you go. What is the execution plan? It's good to see a big order book and, directionally you're moving in the right way. But what kind of a revenue number can you guide both for FY24 and FY25? And what kind of EBITDA margins? Gross margins, I think you're targeting around 8%. What kind of EBITDA margins are you looking at?
EBITDA margin will remain around 5%.
Okay.
It can slightly increase from 5%, 5.5%. And as far as the revenue is concerned, earlier we had planned around 10 to 10,500. But with more orders coming in and all approvals coming, we are targeting around 12,000 crore on consolidated basis in financial year 24. And in financial year 25, it should be another increase of 20%. Because that will be the peak for all the projects.
Oh, okay. All right, so we're going to leave it on that note. Thanks very much for joining in and speaking with us. So that's NBCC. Stock has done well in the past couple of months. Stock is marginally higher today. With that, it's a wrap on Chartbusters. Stay tuned. Trading hour up.